using SSMS. I mean, I already showed you. In fact, let me let me keep this open. So when we created the primary key on the departments table, you know, we did this way. Okay, now we essentially need to do that in here using SSMS. So how do we do that? So in order to do that, we are going to go to the Object Explorer. Remember, if you don't know, you need to always refresh items in SQL Server. So now, actually I think I didn't create this. Let me highlight this part here and execute this. So now if I refresh this, we should have the classes table in here. Now when you want to create a primary key, you need to select the table, go to Design, okay, and here is the table. I'm going to right click on the field that I want to create as a primary key. You obviously want to make sure that it does not allow null, okay, and we will right click and select Set Primary Key. Okay, now you can either save the table here or actually let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now if you go back and look at the design, you should have a primary key in there. Okay, so we'll just put that in there. Just do right click, design, and then PK. Okay, now as far as remember the classes, they are going to tie back to the departments table. How do you do that? In here in SSMS, again, the best way to do that is go into database diagram. So I'm going to create a new database diagram. I'm going to add classes and departments in here. So you just select the tables, click add. Okay, as you can see, actually let me auto hide this. As you can see, there is no relationship between the two, and what we are trying to do basically is tie the primary key in this table, which is our main table, okay, to the foreign key, which is down here in the classes table. So one way you can do this in SQL is you can select the field from the main table and try to land it onto the child field, okay, and SQL Server should be smart enough to pick that. So now let's take a look at it. It's going to call this relationship FK classes departments, which is exactly I would have preferred. I would even go one step further and include the department ID field in it, okay, and then excuse me, if you look on the bottom, our primary table is departments, field department ID, foreign key table is classes, which is department ID here, and then simply all you need to do is click OK. Alright, and you can click OK here too. Now what you did is basically you created a relationship between the two tables. Now when you close this, doesn't matter if you save the diagram or not, you basically have you know, created. This is the part where you need to create the relation. It creates the relationship. It says the following tables will be saved to your databases. You want to continue, and you say yes. Okay, because it's not so much the actual database diagram, it's the actual underlying tables. Okay, and how can you verify this? Now remember, we created the foreign key in which table? Well, we created in classes table. So if you highlight that, okay, and you go down to keys, here is the relationship that we just created. Okay, it is FK classes, departments, and department ID. So this is how you do that in Management Studio. Next thing we need to do is you need to insert some data. So let me just add this notes in here that you can use DB diagram to do this. Okay, as far as inserting data into this table, let me if I do a select star from classes, I don't think I have anything in there right now. I do not. Okay, So now you'll notice that again this insert statement looks very much like the one we looked at. We are going to insert values into the class ID, class name, description, number of credits, prereq, department ID, teacher ID, and then active flag. Okay, and remember that I'm going to actually kill this one. Department IDs we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want to do a quick check on what they are, departments, if you do this, you'll see that we have the IT is number 1, computer science is number 2, science is number 3, okay, and then language is number 4. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And then so the first class is the ID is database 01, and this is that funky database is the name. Description is database fundamentals, number of credits is 3, and the prereq is math 101. Department ID is going to be 1, which is going to be IT, and then active flag is 1, which means it's an active class. Okay, so I will go ahead and select this one. Alright, and I'm going to run this. Now if I do a select, actually let's do select from classes. We just inserted that one record. Okay, similar concept, we're going to insert this one. Now one thing I will mention here is that you'll notice that we do not have anything in the description, and we also do not have anything in the prereq for this class. Okay, this is going to be math 01, so it's an introduction to maths. There's no prereq, but then down the line here we also do not have a basically a teacher ID in here, which actually we didn't have the teacher ID up here either. But notice that this is null, and I do want to mention that there is a difference between entering null versus entering nothing, which basically is still a character. The null basically means that the information is missing or unknown. This actually means that we did not have the particular information, but the database does treat this slightly differently, so be aware of that. Anyway, I'm going to select this, hit execute. So we just entered another record, and same thing we're going to do in the next two records. In this one you'll notice that this particular class is being taught by teacher 02. Actually both of them are being taught by teach 02. So let me do this. I'm going to actually select all these and hit execute. Okay, so actually I think I already had let's see, I already had one of these in there, so that's why it gave me an error. If you look at the error, it says violation of primary key constraint. PK classes cannot insert duplicate key in table classes. Okay, the value is math 01. I'd already inserted that. Okay, if I do a select from that, you know, I already have the 5 classes in there, so the math was already in there. Okay, and that's the nice thing about a primary key. What it's doing is it's making sure that you know, you're not violating, because remember, class ID is our primary key for this database. Okay, because you know, we did this up here, remember, when we did the right click design primary key. So in other words, if I try to insert this record again, which is SQL 101, SQL programming, let me just highlight that, it should give us a violation, and that's a good thing. I mean, this is how you are going to keep your data clean and consistent by implementing things like that. Okay, so now I really should have let's see, 5 records in here, which I do. These are the names, description. This first class belongs to department 1, which is IT, and this last one belongs to IT also. Math actually belongs to I believe that was sciences, and then these 2 classes, English 101 and English 201, belong to department 4, which was I believe language, I can double check that in here. Alright, so yeah, that was language in here. Okay, so that's how we enter information into the classes. So I think we are good on that.